Hello guys, I am back again. Today, I'm going to be addressing an issue concerning the governor of Osun State, Governor Adeleke, and how he is celebrating a convicted armed robber that he recently pardoned. I want to highlight the implications of celebrating this guy publicly and what my recommendations are to the people of Osun State and to the lawmakers in the Osun State House of Assembly. So I woke up to see a trending video of an event where a guy that was recently pardoned. The guy was, I think, sentenced some years ago for stealing a fowl, but according to the prosecutor, he used a weapon in committing the crime. So that justifies why he was sentenced to death for armed robbery. But when the case came up again and got to the attention of the Osun State governor, he pardoned him, which everybody praised. But now he has gone further. This is the guy. He has now gone further to celebrate the guy publicly at an event in Osun State, and this is making people angry, and I support them for getting angry, because it is one thing to pardon a convicted armed robber. It's another thing to now start celebrating him, and I'm going to be highlighting the implications of what the governor just did by celebrating this guy. Here is a picture of the governor and the guy at that event. The guy who came with his mother and was even waving to the crowd, and he later posed with the governor and they had a little chit chat. So I'm going to be talking about the implication of this action by the governor and what my recommendations are. But before I proceed, kindly subscribe to my channel and switch on the notification so that you can get notified anytime I drop a content. Now let's get into it. The number one implication of what the governor did is that he is subtly turning an armed robber to a celebrity. This is really alarming. You know, we all commended you as a governor when you extended state pardon to him, considering the fact that he has even served like 14 years in prison for a crime of that nature. Although the law justified the sentencing, because anybody that commits a crime using weapon is seen as an armed robber, and such person is liable to be sentenced to death by hanging. So that was the premise upon which this guy was sentenced to death some years back. But when the matter came to the governor's attention, many people prevailed on the governor to pardon this guy, and he listened to the voice of the people and he pardoned him. And many people thought it would end there, but now for the governor to go an extra mile to publicly celebrate him shows that he wants to turn this guy into a celebrity without him even knowing. That's one of the implications of this public show of celebration of this guy. You are turning the robber to a celeb, and this is not good for our society. That's the number one implication. The second implication is that the governor celebrating this guy openly is like an indirect and tacit endorsement of stealing. Not only stealing, armed robbery. Because people without be seeing it as if the whole governor is celebrating somebody that was one convicted of armed robbery. So it's like, what more endorsement does somebody of that nature needs than being celebrated by the governor of the state? There are so many people in Osun State doing great things and innovating, but never for once have they been treated to this kind of reception. So imagine now that somebody that stole with an armed weapon, convicted and jailed and sentenced to death, then the person got pardoned. And before you say Jack Robinson, you saw the person receiving standing ovation at an event attended by the governor. And the guy even went ahead to have a chit chat with the governor, and he was waving to the crowd, as seen in the picture here, as you can see. So this is like a tacit endorsement of this guy's actions, and which should be condemned by anybody of good conscience. This is another implication of what the governor did. I am sure he doesn't even know it, but now that we are drawing his attention to it, I'm sure that he's going to act appropriately. The third implication of what the governor is doing now is that he's denting the image of the state and the country, because the video has gone viral on Twitter with so many people reacting to it. This would go a long way in selling us short in the international community, because now foreigners and the members of the diplomatic corps will be looking at us as if we don't know what we are doing. How can a country, it's like, for example, when some confident drug laws were released in America. It's like one now later seeing one of them posing with the state governor or the president of the country. What would you think as a foreigner? That's the same thing that is happening here. The public perception of this act, the public perception, it is a negative one. There is no way you can see positivity in what the governor did with this guy. There was no reason for him to be invited to that event and be given a standing ovation by the audience. And even if he was invited, the governor should have ensured that the guy did not pose with him in any way. It should just be like the normal attendee of the event, and if he wants to thank the governor, he could have done that one privately, not in the full glare of the public, because it sends a wrong signal and it shows that our country, the state of Osun, is a state that doesn't actually have much moral values, and this is bad. Another implication of what the governor did was that setting a bad example for all the other people in the state. Now, young people were at that event. Many young people have seen the video. What message is the governor trying to pass across to the young ones coming after this guy? Now, the impressionable young guys, the naive ones, will be thinking it is cool to commit certain crime with the hope that you will get pardoned by the state and still be given a state welcome when you are freed. That's the kind of example this spectacle is sending to the citizens of Osun State and the world generally. That it is cool to commit some crime, and if you are lucky enough, you can get pardoned by your state governor, and after getting pardoned, you can become a celebrity overnight. And this should not be condoned or given air to breathe. It shouldn't be allowed anywhere in a sane community. It is bad enough that he was pardoned, which everybody allowed, but we should stand strongly against canonizing this guy. We should stand strongly against allowing this guy to be like an example to our young ones. So those are the implications of what the governor did. And now let me go to my recommendation, because actions must have consequences. I don't believe things should just be allowed to go that way without the person that carried out the act being made to face the consequences of their action. So I'm going to be making some recommendations to the people of Osun State and to the members of the Osun State House of Assembly. I would suggest that they should consider initiating an impeachment proceeding against the governor, at least to serve as a deterrent to other political or public office holders, that it is not cool to make a celeb out of criminals. It is not good to platform convicted criminals or to make them look like a saint in the eye of the public, because we have so many impressionable youths that don't know their rights from wrong yet, in which case they will be seeing this video, they will be seeing the act of the governor and be thinking it is cool. They will be thinking they stand a chance if they embrace the life of crime, and this should not be allowed. Crime should not be glorified, because this public celebration and public posing with the governor is like a celebration of his terrible past, his terrible act, because so many people in his locality confirmed that this guy was a terror before he was arrested and convicted. Many people said he was terrorizing the whole community. So they were shocked when they saw him posing with the governor, waving to the crowd. It was an insult to them. It was like pouring salt on their injury, because many of them are still suffering from the PTSD of what this guy made them to undergo while he was at the height of his criminal activities. So I think they may not follow through with this impeachment, but at least if they initiate it, it would jolt the governor to reality and see that he heard, and he would then be forced to apologize to those that is governing. And I'm sure that if he can apologize, people are willing to pardon him. But first, shake him up by initiating an impeachment proceeding against him. To just shake him up. You don't have to follow through with it. You don't have to see through the impeachment process, but just initiate it to jolt him back to reality, to let him know that he can't afford to be careless when it comes to public perception, because his actions have ripple effects, and the action goes a long way in shaping the perception of outsiders about the state and about the country. That will be all for now. Thank you guys for watching till this point. Before you go, I appeal to you to subscribe to my channel and switch on the notification so that you can get notified anytime I drop a gem. Thank you.